Happy Homebrew Wednesday. I've got a beer finally. I actually started the video and I didn't actually have a beer sitting there. I was like, am I missing something? Look at that. That's what I'm drinking tonight. Okay, so this, my friends, is the oaked bitter that I did last June, and I've been keeping it in the keg, drinking it every now and again. I can't remember the last time I had one of these, to be fair. The last time, so the long story, if anyone hasn't heard it, long story short, when I started brewing this, the fermentation temperatures got a little away from me at the beginning, and then I basically put too much fresh oak into it, and it just kind of ruined the beer. But there was something in there that I thought was salvageable, so I thought I'd keep it in the keg rather than just chuck it out. And it has changed, so let's see now. It must be months. Last time, maybe Christmas, the last time I had one of these. I can't actually remember. So, I don't know what to expect. Still not quite clear. It just has never cleared, this beer. Now, to be fair, I did move it from there into the Keizer a while back, but still, like, it's never been clear. Here's hoping. Okay, it smells actually quite nice. It's got that nice little bit of oak on it. Okay, going in. I know it's gonna taste like this as well too, but it's just the question is how much is it gonna taste like that? Okay, that's still pretty intense. It is definitely mellowing into a beer, but it might take a little while longer. Hopefully we're going to get to the full year before that keg kicks. It's pretty intense. Very oaky. It's very oaky and it's very bulky. Is that? Could I really describe it as that? No. It's not that bad. It's not bad enough to throw away, but needs a little bit more conditioning time. So the reason I'm drinking that is because I'm down to 2 kegs, and that is one of them in the Keizer. I had to clear all the shelves of bottles as well too, so I've managed to do that. So I don't actually have any other beer apart from that and the New Zealand Pilsner, which is the second keg from the batch I brewed in New Year's, Christmas time, whatever. And yeah, I kegged one today, but we have a bit of a problem. I think it might be infected, which is, it's devastating. It's devastating not having like another tap. I'm starting to panic because there's not another fresh beer on that. So I only kegged it today. It wasn't pressure fermented either, so I kegged it anyway, even though I tasted it before. Pulled off that little bit at the start just so all the crap goes into like the glass, and then give it a little bit of a taste. And yeah, it's got that familiar antiseptic kind of taste to it. It actually smells worse than it tastes. It actually tasted okay, but maybe that's because it was just after being pulled out of the crush and it was like near freezing temperatures. But so yeah, I'm expecting that to be a tipper, but we'll find out next week. I'll give it a taste then. I have actually recorded video and stuff for it, so I'm gonna need to put something together for it. So that was a bummer. I do have another one on here, which is dry. Well, no, I'm starting to cold crush it now, so it's at pressure as well too, so it'll be ready to drink next week. So just need to get through this weekend without that New Zealand Pilsner kicking. So also just want to see it sitting in front of me. So basically see over there, I've got the fermenter it came out of, that stainless steel one, plus the Robo Brew. Because I think it's infected, I'm doing a brew day tomorrow. I'm just having to give it a good clean, and like an oxy kind of clean with the stuff I have up there, which is very light. So that's the stuff I'm using at the minute. I haven't been able to see, you know, the really cheap stuff they sell in like the bargain shops, whatever they're called. But yeah, they only seem to have the perfume stuff. Now, I don't know if does anyone actually use the perfume stuff rather than the non-perfume stuff? Because I used to get the non-perfume stuff, but it seems to have disappeared. But I mean, you're always told not to use the perfume stuff because it can, you know, the taste can go onto your equipment and all. But Is that true? Has anyone actually done that? I don't know, but so I need some more of that. I've got a little bit for the Brewday tomorrow. The funny thing is too, that with the G40, every time I do a brew, I'll always use that stuff on it afterwards. Whereas with the Robo Brew, it was never really, I was a lot more slack. It was only every now and again, so it's just curious that. Because I had to pump it around that as well too, and then into that fermenter, so. But hopefully that's the end of it. So, the end of the kind of, if it's anything, I don't think it's anything to do with the, I have an idea why it got infected, which I'll show you in the video, so I'm going to stop talking about it now. So yeah, so this is the little arm that goes into the, in the fermenter. So it kind of sits like that, and then it brings the wort in from the end, or whatever way it sits. So yeah, when I was taking it off, look, see the, starting to fray this, the little O-ring on the top. It's about 10 mil, I think. Looks it. So I need to get replacement ones for that. I've no idea who sells them or where you get them. Imagine they're somewhere on eBay. So if anyone knows where you would get something that small, an O-ring that small, and that thin and narrow, because I don't know how easy they are to get. I've certainly never seen them in any of my, not that I've been looking for them, but I've never actually seen them in any of my many journeys down the rabbit hole that is eBay. Because I would tend to get stuff like that just so I have it sitting in a box somewhere, but, and God knows I've got every type of ring up there, but not that, because I've checked. So yeah, that needs replaced at some point. So yeah, I thought I'd just do a video, and I don't really have anything to say. I was just out here. It's like near 9 o'clock at night. I should be in the bosom of my family enjoying their company, but I'm out here having to clean and scrub all that crap for this Brewday tomorrow. And I'm fueled by Pepsi Max, so maybe that was the reason why I decided to make a video on the spur of the moment. And listening to Music for the Jilted Generation on the headphones, or on the earphones. Oh, that's a good album. That is a banging album. I have not heard that in years. 1994, I think that came out. Somewhere in 1994. Oh, I know it came out in 1994 because I bought it. And yeah, fantastic. But it was just, I haven't heard it in years, and it's like really just banging techno and breakbeat and a bit of rave and everything in there. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I think that was the album that kind of got me into electronic music, finally. I was kind of dabbled before, and then I just really got into it after that. So yeah, 1984. And then of course, definitely Maybe was out later in that year, wasn't it? So yeah, 1984, the year that kind of, yeah, I came of age as well too. I was 18. Memories. Where did that time go, I wonder? So yeah, I don't really have much to say. So the Brewday tomorrow, just before we go down the whole 1984 rabbit hole. Do you remember the film The Rock? Do you remember that? And Sean Connery was in it? No, let's not go there. Was that 94? I don't know. So yeah, so I'm doing a Schwarzbier tomorrow, so I'm gonna try the cold steeping grains again. So I did that on a black IPA, which was the last beer. It did not last long in that keg. Really loved it. Fantastic. With that one, I did the cold steep and then just basically tossed it on top of the grains and then sparged through them. So the only hot water that went into them was the sparge water, and that was it. So, and it came out really well, I think. It didn't get any kind of horrible acrid notes, anything kind of ashy notes. Even though it is Carafa Special 3 is debittered, it does kind of give you that ashy kind of flavour, I think. But it didn't that last time, and it really turned out well. Now it was really intense with, I used rye in it as well too, and I'd used Columbus. So I was thinking I'll do it again, but instead of doing that, I'll maybe do a Schwarzbier, which is what I wanted to do, which is something I did last year, and it wasn't overly, it was okay, it came out okay, but it wasn't quite where it needed to be. So this is kind of version 2 of that. So that is the plan for tomorrow. and I'm going to be using some Kveik, so I'm just having a look now because obviously I need it to be ready soon because it's Easter next weekend. So I'm going to do a double batch of New Zealand Pilsner, but it was supposed to be this weekend, but I have not got any Nelson Sauvin, and I was like, I couldn't quite believe that when I looked on Brewfall. I was like, no, that must be a mistake. And now I remember I used pretty much all of it the last time when I did that double batch, and I thought I'll definitely get some before the next, and I forgot all about it. So you get used to that, you know. It's actually not too bad now that I'm getting down it. So I mean, you could have a couple of them, so I could. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be using. Lutra, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, by which time it will be too late. I believe that is a lager type one, is it? Lutra, I think. Or is that, no, is it Lutra? I don't know, I'll need to check, but that's the one I'm going to use, the Lutra. I think it's a lager type one. Sorry, this is from Woodbine Fandango. Thank you very much for sending me these. He's also sent me Oslo as well, which again I need to check. I need to do a bit of homework on all these. A bit out of the loop when it comes to Kveik. When I seen Oslo, the first thing I thought was like Voss or something like that. So, but I don't know what that is. Evergarden, we've got a ton of that, which is good. We've got Espe and Midbust as well too. So yeah, I'm gonna be brewing a lot of Kveik. In terms of what I need, so when I used to use Kveik a lot more, like before I started getting dry stuff, it was always like a teaspoon into a 20 litre batch. So I think I'm gonna go with the same kind of idea. So almost a teaspoon of that. So whatever that is, about, we'll give it a good few flakes, but not loads and loads, and see what happens. And hopefully that will all be done and dusted in a week, and then that way I'll have 2 fridges and 2 fermenters free for a brew day over Easter sometime. So I'm off Friday and Monday, and then the following Thursday and Friday, so there's plenty of time to get a brew on, so which is good, which is exactly what I need, because as I said, that's going to be tipped, I know rightly, next week, but we've got to give it a chance, just on the off chance that maybe my taste buds have just, you know, gone off on one or something. And I've imagined the whole thing. But anyway, that's it. Goodbye. See you next week for the big reveal. Cheers.